Hi guys, this is LaQueen. I'm here in downtown Boston. I just really want to let you guys know what's going on right now. A lot of these business owners are boarding up their businesses, and it's really sad. This is in downtown Boston, Massachusetts, a very, very financial rich area, and a lot of these places are boarding up their businesses. Boston is a very wealthy city, rich city. And a lot of these businesses are closing down. They are literally boarded up. And it has been going like this for the last 3 months. It is really sad what's going on right now in downtown Boston. It is really sad. And people are like, oh, she needs a man. Oh, she needs a man of God. Oh, she needs to get married. She'll be okay. No, the issue is not to get married and get a mate and have babies. Right now, what's going on in downtown Boston is really sad. I just want you guys to take a look at this. This is a major 7-Eleven here on Washington Street, about 2 blocks from City Hall. Look how bad it is. It's boarded up. This is a 7-Eleven. This is a 7-Eleven. This is in downtown Boston. The 7-Eleven is boarded up next to, this is a major church, and that's the CVS. That's the CVS right here. The Walgreens, and that is boarded up too. This is a 7-Eleven that is boarded up too. And it goes on, and it goes on and on and on and on. A lot of these businesses about 2-3 blocks from downtown City Hall in Boston, Massachusetts, a lot of these businesses are boarded up. They are boarded up. It is so sad. It is really sad. This is CVS Pharmacy on Washington Street in downtown Boston, and the CVS Pharmacy in downtown Boston, as well as the McDonald's, is boarded up too. This is CVS Pharmacy. This is CVS right here. CVS, and it is completely boarded up. Next to Bank of America, and this is CVS. It is completely boarded up. This is CVS. This is in downtown Boston, Massachusetts, home of Harvard University. This is home of Harvard University. And here is Shake Shack. Shake Shack in Boston, Massachusetts is also boarded up too. This is Shake Shack, a really popular, and they have this boarded up too. This is boarded up too. This has been going on for almost 2-3 months now. They're actually boarding up, and the interest is, instead of saying for lease signs, things are for sale signs. Now they have everything boarded up. Boarded up. The doors are all boarded up, and they're painted it black. This black. You have CVS right there on the right that's boarded up. Shake Shack. And then the only available stores are pretty much Verizon and T-Mobile, so people can get phone services. This is Verizon. Verizon, that's not boarded up. McDonald's is not boarded up. Marshall's has been closed for going on 2-3 months now. The GNC Medical Pharmacy, this is boarded up too. Completely boarded up. And what they're doing, they're boarding these stores up, and they're painting them black. And you can tell that this is not temporary board up, it's a permanent board up. Look how thick those nails are. So this is GNC. And then this is another store that's been boarded up in downtown Boston in the financial district. This is the AT&T store, and this store is also boarded up. The AT&T sign has been taken off, and the store has closed. This is in downtown Boston. See the AT&T sign right here? And the whole store is boarded up. And then you have all these jeweler stores. All these jeweler stores are closing businesses, and they're also boarded up too. All the jeweler stores, they're boarding up. This is boarded up too. It is really, really sad what's going on in downtown Boston. This is another jewelry store. It has nothing to do with the protest. Businesses are actually closing down and they're boarding up, not just because of the coronavirus, but because there's no business here. This is also boarded up and closed down too. It's a permanent boarding up, a permanent closure, because it's not temporary. This is actually a permanent fixture. And this is where the jewelers are. Boston Discount Jeweler, Boston. And then they have a memorial here for George Floyd. But again, this business is also a black-owned business. This black-owned business is also closed down and boarded up. Even though they have a memorial of George Floyd, this business in downtown Boston is also closed up. Right here, they have a whole memorial of George Floyd. This business has also been closed up. And then on the TJ Maxx, Marshall's stores, they have not opened up in 3 months here in Boston. And it says right here, it says, we're closed, shop online. It's really, really sad. It's really, really sad what's going on right now in downtown Boston. A lot. This is on Washington and Franklin Street. Franklin and Washington Street, a major thoroughfare in Boston. A lot of these businesses are boarded up and closing down. And now we're going to the shopping center, the shopping mecca of downtown Boston. And a lot of these stores are actually closing the doors and going out of business. It is really, really sad what's going on. And people think, oh, you're on the wrong side of town. You're on the wrong side of town. No, this is the money side of town. This is Old Navy. This is what's going on in Old Navy. Old Navy. This is the Old Navy store in downtown Boston. Oh, you see the Old Navy sign right there? They have the whole entire store. The whole entire store is boarded up with this 2-3 inch plywood. And this is the Old Navy store in Boston. This is Old Navy. Look how big this facility is. Look how big. Let me show you how big this facility is. How big this Old Navy is. This is at least a 5,000 square, 10,000. This is $1 million prime real estate in downtown Boston, and it is boarded up. Completely boarded up, closed. And this is downtown Boston. This is the financial district. This is where a lot of people, a lot of tourists shop and get their money. This is how the city gets its money, and right now it's closing down. It is really, really sad. And I'm first aid, I can only do so much. And they even have Primark, which is also a low price store. It's also closed down. It's been closed down for 2-3 months now. Primark, and it is completely closed down. And what a lot of these board up people doing, they are putting boards up. The Gap store has closed down in Boston, and the Gap store is out of business. I better go home, but this Gap store is closed down. This Gap factory store, and it is also out of business. This Gap store completely closed down, and they don't have any kind of product at all in the store. Completely closed down. This is downtown Boston. It is really sad. It is really sad. And what a lot of these people that are boarding up today, they're like, oh, it's open. What they're doing is they're boarding it up. They're boarding these businesses up with this plywood right here, with this cheap plywood. They're boarding it up, and then they're painting the plywood black to make it look normal, but it's not normal. It's still very cheap and very ghetto. They painted this on this black paint on top of it, and it's spreading that people don't know what it is, but it's cheapening the city. It's really giving it a cheap effect to the city, and not really letting people know what's really going on. So you have this plywood, and now they're painting the plywood black. It is really sad. Here's a Skechers store. Here's Skechers. Skechers is also closed down. This Skechers is also closed down. It's also closed down and out of business. The store is completely shut down. I mean, there is no other kind of, they completely glued and shut this is the entrance to the store. That's the entrance. They completely shut down and closed the store. So guys, please keep, this is the downtown financial district of Boston. This is where all the stores shop. People live here and go to school here. And a lot of protests have been going on in the city. It has been peaceful, but right now the financial district is where the heart of the city is. The financial district, the shopping district, is pretty much where the heart of the city is. Where people work, they live here, they eat here, and they shop here. And people don't think, oh, I don't live here. Oh, it doesn't apply to me. Look, this is another big store in Boston. It's also shut down. This is downtown Boston. Look at that, all that real estate. So people think, especially black people, they think, oh, I don't live in that area. It doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does apply to you. This is also DSW Shoe House in downtown Boston. DSW is also closed down too. DSW is also closed down. So please don't think that. Here's another one, Foot Locker, and they're painting the plywood black. That cheap plywood, this cheap brown, they're painting it black and trying to make it look like it's normal, but it's cheap. Here's another store that you don't think will go out of business, but it is in downtown Boston. It's Foot Locker. Foot Locker. It's also out of business. So it's really sad about what's going on, and people think, oh, I don't live in that part of the city. Oh, it doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does apply to you. They have everything boarded up, and that goes to Franklin Park, the Boston Commons. It's really, and they got a mirror right here. And this is a black-owned business. That store is not even open. So people think, oh, I don't live there. That doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does apply to you, and it's happening in the cities all across the United States. It does apply to you. They got businesses all boarded up. And they're painting this cheap plywood. They're painting it black to make it look normal, but it's cheap. You can't hide paint. All these businesses are for sale, but people, they don't want them to let them know, so they're painting all this plywood black. It's horrible. It is. All these diamond stores are out of business. All these diamond stores, they left and they moved back home to their countries. Out of business. Even McDonald's is barely surviving. McDonald's is about to be boarded up too. When the rallies came, they broke it to CVS. Luckily, CVS was a hit, but it was hit. The Bank of America is still here. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Bank of America is still here. They have a couple restaurants are open. Walgreens is also broken too during the rallies. This is in a very high, wealthy, middle class area. And you go to the South Bay area, and they also have other stores closed as well. And this Walgreens was boarded up too. All across the city. And you don't think that it applies to you. Yes, it does apply to you. It absolutely does apply to you. A lot of these businesses, even the South Bay, a lot of businesses are shutting down doors because they can't compete. You have all these available stores this is a cupcake dessert business. This is also out of business. Available. This is on Washington Street, a very Very, very high upper class area. Very high upper class. Chipotle was broken into a couple days ago, but luckily they got security now, and luckily they're still here. I mean, this pretty much the shelters. It is really sad. It is very, very sad what's going on. This is a very rich part of Boston. This is not the ghetto. This is downtown. This downtown central area, right here by a church. This is down. Look at the flowers. They think your flowers don't cover up what's going on to the city. It's real sad. It's real sad what's going on. And this is right here. This is a whole big building property for sale, and they have the entrance boarded up so people can't see that that space is for lease. See how big that building is right here? All this property boarded up so people can't see that it's for sale for lease. It is really sad. It is really sad. So guys, please keep the city of Boston as well as the economy in your prayers. Um, this one's another boarded up. A lot of this is a T-Mobile store. They moved, but this T-Mobile is completely empty. All this space, all this available space, empty. It is really sad. I don't know if there's gang activity. I don't know if there's criminal activity. I don't know what's going on in the city. I don't know if there's probably is criminal activity, gang activity, crack cocaine, dope. They're probably selling crack on the streets. It is ridiculous. But right now, this is a little bit out of control. It is. Look at this. This is another building here on Washington Street. City Hall is straight ahead. Look at this. Is a major building in downtown Boston, and they got the bottom boarded up. And look at how big that city is, building is. They got the whole downtown boarded up. Look at this. All of this is boarded up. And right here at the veteran shelter, I came late today. This is downtown Boston. You can see City Hall is straight up ahead, and they still have businesses boarded up 1 block from downtown City Hall. 1 block. These buildings right here is the New England Center for Veteran Services. They said the city was going to use this building as a dormitory, but for students. But right now, even this building is boarded up. See all this building right here. This building is completely boarded up. So it's right now, it is really sad. There's parts of downtown that are still alive, that are still rampant about what's going on right now. But people think, oh, just because I don't live in that city, that part of the city, it doesn't apply to me. Yes, it does apply to you. This right here used to be a corner bakery or a bakery. This is 5 minutes from City Hall. Look at this. It's all boarded up. All of this is boarded up. And then here is City Hall. Right here in front of me. It's early in the morning. There's nobody on the street. You have security, and here's City Hall about 30 seconds from me. And luckily, City Hall is still available. It hasn't been closed down, but right now with the economy and coronavirus is still in the air, Pneumonia is still in the air, and the flu season is not over yet. It's really sad what's going on. And this is a very, very suburban financial city, literally. This is the Wax Museum. It hasn't closed down. Here's the Veterans Center. And then City Hall is still open. The lights are still on at City Hall. So, I mean, it goes on, it goes on, and goes on. And here is City Hall. What's going on in City Hall right now is City Hall is pretty much the center of the city. And right across the street from City Hall, which is Mayor Marty Wash and Governor Baker, they have additional buildings boarded up right across the street from Boston City Hall. So here is Boston City Hall right here. Here's the old mayor. There is Boston City Hall. That's Boston City Hall, and you see buildings continually boarded up. These are restaurants. This is a Subway. This is, God, I just had time to be able to, I have time in my hands. This is a Subway. This Subway is right across here, City Hall, and this is Subway. This Subway's boarded up. That's a Subway. This is another area. Here's another restaurant. There's City Hall. You walk 5 minutes, and this is another building, another restaurant that has been boarded up. And this Dunkin' Donuts right here is also boarded up. They closed down this Dunkin' Donuts that was just open last week. This Dunkin' Donuts right here, it's just closed down its doors. They closed down the Dunkin' Donuts. This is, I gotta put my mask back on. This is downtown Boston. The cops are out. Boston, Massachusetts. And here is the Center Plaza. Here's Cambridge Street, Tremont Street, Court Street, Court and Tremont, Court and Cambridge. Right here. This is Cambridge. And then right across the street from City Hall, they have 7-Eleven, and they have both CVS that have closed its doors. They have 7-Eleven, and they have CVS. That have closed its doors. This is, and CVS looks like it has closed its doors. It's still open, but I think it's closed its doors. 7-Eleven says it's still open, but I doubt it. Here is 7-Eleven, and it is completely boarded up. And I told you this is in that City Hall right there, Boston, Massachusetts, and this is CVS Pharmacy. CVS Pharmacy. This is also boarded up and closed its doors. CVS Pharmacy, completely boarded up. CVS. All right, I've reached my storage limit on video. Guys, please, please, please keep the city of Boston, Massachusetts, and what's going on in government right now in your prayers. Please help. This is not going to be $6 million. It's not going to be $10 million. It's actually going to have to be business owners coming together and finding a resolution about what's going on in the city. It is really sad right now. There are homeless agencies that are helping out homeless people, but right now it is really sad. So please, please, please keep the city of Boston in your prayers. All right, this is LaQueen coming live from downtown Boston. Peace and much love. Bye.